how long do backlink campaigns take to start showing decent results? 3, 6, 12 months. Um, so this kind of depends on a bunch of stuff, right? It depends on on the domain that you're building to, right? How long is are you talking about a completely like fresh domain? Or are you building on like an expired or an aged domain, something like that? Or just has your site been around for a while already and has started kind of already resonating in the SERPs? Generally, the longer things have been around and the more established the site is, kind of the quicker things move, in my experience. Um, but the link building campaigns, I don't even really think about them as link building campaigns. It's just the link building of the site. It should be like from when the site is first started to when the site is sold or dies. That's your backlink campaign, right? You should be pretty much building links this entire time. You don't really, I mean, you can stop, especially if it's like a low competition thing, like some kind of like small, low competition, like local business or something like that. But in general, you want to be always building, right? Um, but yeah, it's, if you're only building, a couple links a month and you're in a pretty good competition niche, then it could take a very long time to see any good results from that, right? Or if you're building on a fresh domain and it's high competition and you're not building many links, I mean, good luck, right? But
You, you, you want to know the main variable that comes into play with this question? If I'm just thinking about it outright, how well versed of an SEO are you? Okay. How much time and energy have you put into campaigns? How much experimenting have you done? How, good are the recipes for success that you've set up? Because this is going to depend not just on backlink campaigns, but on your content campaigns, on building
yeah.
the entire picture that says this is a site that is, worthwhile to resonate in the SERPs according to Google's crawlers, right? Or to Google's algorithm. So, you know, eh, depending on your competition, but let's say even low competition, if you're a newer SEO or somebody that doesn't have much of an education in it, it's probably going to take you closer to, a year. And that's if you've got the tenacity to be able to continue along with these projects, right? If you're really well versed, let's just talk about me. When I first got into SEO, I think it was probably like a year and a half before I ever got a page to page one. There wasn't a lot of information out there. There weren't people that I could trust to follow, and so all these recipes were just building off of trying to randomly piece something together. And really, like the only thing that kept me going was the desire to want to win. Right now, with my recipes, if I'm not getting movement between 3 to 4 months, I know something is
So
heinously
we've got a
wrong.
little more
Okay.
information on his question. So he says, I
Mhm.
bought a site so the site he's talking about has about 500 visits per day on average. If I were to enroll in the MLB programs, our managed link building program, how long will it take? It only has 5 links that the previous owner built. Um, so it has 5 links, but it's getting 500 visits per day. It's getting some traffic, meaning it's ranking for something. That's kind of crazy if it only has 5 links. That's a lot of traffic for 5 links.
Yeah, it just depends. It could be like an informational article about who knows what. But yeah, I mean that's honestly it's a good starting point because it means it's got some trust in Google, and I would think faster rather than later. But anybody that gives you like a concrete timeline
They're
on what their
jerking your
marketing budget is
chain.
going to do for you is jerking your chain. Yeah. So what I would say, if you want to do MLB program with us, yeah, that's a great site. We'd be
Oh, looks like we lost Nick again. My computer's beeping at me, which I think means he's going to come back in a second. It's kind of funny.
God.
That was cool. You were like frozen
Hello.
like a hologram.
Hey, where did I? Oh, it's
Um,
gonna be sick when I can
we're talking
actually use
about
my
him joining
NFTs to.
MLB and that it seemed like a good site to work
Yeah. So
on.
you've got to. you've got a good starting point, you're already resonating in the SERPs. You don't have much of a backlink profile. So if you're handling things on the content side, right, and everything else, backlinks would be easy. Now, like I said, I'm not going to give you a concrete timeline of when you're going to rank.
Yeah.
I just won't do it. There's so many variables that come into play, including just Google updates or, any number of things, competition changing, that are going to play. But what I would say is, if this is where you're at, then take the current budget that you have allocated for backlinks, you spread that out over 6 months.
Minimum,
Okay. And then
minimum.
that's what you see. Yeah, minimum.
So, people
Spread it out
really
over
do.
6 months.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, yeah, that's it. I mean, it's not so much about, hey, when can I get ranked? It's about just putting in the time, and knowing that the recipe that you're building off of is going to equal success, which, can be hard, especially if it's, one of your first sites. And I'm not saying that's where you're at, but just speaking to the general audience, the first time getting to rankings is the hardest because there's never a concrete timeline
So,
for you.
so when people ask this question, when managed link building applicants ask this question, our our process, our SOP is to tell them we cannot answer it for them. And I know, a lot
Right.
of people, they do not want to hear this answer. You're looking for a definite solution. You're looking to make X amount of money in X time. You're looking to see blank ROI in, 6 months maximum, something like that. But just like we were explaining to you before, whether you're an MLB client or not, the truth of the matter is no one knows. And it depends on so much more than just the link building campaign, right? A lot of it depends on your niche, how well you're basically using the site to target the niche, the content you're pumping out, your on page. There's just so much that goes into the equation. And even if all of that is perfect, even if everything else except for the links is perfect, we still can't give an answer because an answer, it would be a lie. It would be a lie. We could tell you, you'll start seeing results in 3 months, but the truth of the matter is you don't really know until you start really building and start seeing how things are reacting, and then you can maybe give a little bit more of an estimate of what you think is going on. But even then, it's still an estimate,
Hmm.
right? It's a best guess. It's an
Yeah.
educated guess rather than
You know,
a definite answer.
something else that I think is important to note in my adolescent stage of SEO, I gauged my success based on trying to hit certain keyword targets, right? Okay, this is my keyword. I'm going after this one. It's worth this much traffic. It should, be enough to resonate into this much cash. I don't do that anymore. My outline and my plan is about the overall building of the website, right? So I'm looking for traffic from multiple types of sources. Typically, if you're looking for a question that answers, well, how long till I rank? You're looking at specific targets, right? Versus the overall picture. But when I'm building a site from scratch, the content is ever evolving, right? So I'm always growing it out based on keyword research, good keyword research. But I'm also just building up the overall authority of the website using backlinks naturally to the homepage, generic stuff like that. And I'm not giving too much thought about which keywords are ranking faster or etc. Like I'm literally just building the overall picture to try and just amass as much traffic to that content as I can when I'm starting off. And what you're going to find is that increase in traffic usually increases the trust to your website as well. And then it gets easier to rank for specific keywords that you want to go after. A lot of times, just using excellent keyword research alongside, a backlink campaign that's going to build out the overall authority of your network versus authority to specific subject matter that's niche and obscure. And you'll find that in focusing on those priorities, you've kind of lopsided your campaign building, right? And so then something, just doesn't look natural. So something to think about.
So yeah, just to recap a little bit as well. We always tell people, um, MLB applicants to plan the budget for 6 to 12 months. Like you don't want to just front load your budget, spend it all in the beginning and run out of money within like 3 months. You absolutely do not want to do
Hmm.
that. You want to be able to sustain your link building over time, right? Um, and so, this also requires you to have basically a budget that matches the niche that you're attacking, right? Because if you have a small budget and you're attacking a high competition niche and you need to spread that small budget out over 6 or 12 months, I mean, it could take some real time for things to really get going. I'm not saying it's impossible, but um, you need to have done the homework on your end as well for something like that to really work out. But yeah, plan, budget for 6 to 12 months, and then if you're not just some low competition local site or something, you're go, you're gonna want to keep building after that as well in most cases, unless your
Yeah.
competition just dies. Literally everyone else in your niche, their site explodes and they stop wanting to outrank you, right?
Yeah, that's something else I think people don't consider up front. It's like
There's other
you
people out
don't
there trying
build
to
a
beat you. Yeah.
campaign to just stop, at some point in time. This is part of your marketing budget. You do it continually. And if it works, then you up the budget or you keep it where it's at minimum. You don't clip off something that's going to end up getting you more clients in the long run. And I think maybe some people look at it from a perspective of, well, if I get this keyword, then I can sell it for 30x and I'm going to be so rich. But it's just, it's not the way it works. And people that do buy sites, they want to see longevity, right? They want to see an ability to carry on. And that means, if they look, they're typically going to look at like 6 months of, information based on traffic, backlink profiles, when all that came in, and the money that the site makes, right? So worth noting.
Yeah, so hopefully that makes sense. I know it's not an easy answer. It's not the answer people generally want to hear because it's complicated, right? Um,
Yeah, we could probably get a lot more MLB clients if we just, yeah, it'll take 2 to 3 months. You're in. Go ahead.
yeah,
Yeah. It's just that's sleazy.
it
It's
is. It's
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 sleazy.
sleazy, yeah. Um, all right, let's see what else we got here.
Me and Chris are real smart guys. Okay, we don't have to sleaze for our money. All right, we work hard.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching. Be sure to check the description below for links to our blog for more info on this topic, along with a bunch of other cool stuff like case studies, our Facebook community, and our link building services. And like always, remember to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell if you enjoyed the video. Thanks and happy ranking.